I'm sitting here with my new friend Emily, and she's going to tell us about this brand new podcast that she's a part of. It's called Expert Tips by Self-Advocates. Going to be available on most of the podcast platforms. Emily, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, too.
Can you tell me, what does a self-advocate do? Are you a self-advocate?
Yeah, I would say that I'm a self-advocate.
Okay. Tell me what they do. Tell me what it does.
Being an advocate for yourself means knowing your rights and learning to speak up when you need to. Like at a doctor's appointment, when someone is talking about you to someone else, but not to you. Not everyone is able to speak up as well as I can.
You know, someone gave me some advice about going to the doctor, Emily, and they said you have to be your own advocate. You got to speak up for yourself, right?
Right.
You receive services at ADEC, but you're also president of their self-advocates group. So should I call you Madam President while we talk here this afternoon? Would that be more respectable?
I mean, you can if you want to.
What kind of things does your group do?
Well, one of the things we're talking about right now is letting everyone with disabilities know that if they are over 18, that they have the right to vote. And we also teach people how to register if they're not, and even how to use a voting machine if they haven't used it yet.
How long have you been president of this group?
I just started this year.
Was it a tough campaign to become president, or did they just hoist you up on their shoulders and say, you are our leader?
They just hoisted me up.
The podcast is called Expert Tips by Self-Advocates. What's the podcast going to be like?
It's a monthly podcast where I interview guests about living their best life with a disability. Guests could be a friend from ADEC or someone from the community that could teach everyone something. We might also have panel discussions if we have a topic come up that lots of people are interested in. There are so many things most people don't even know about living with a disability.
Is being a podcast host your dream job?
In a sense, it's very similar. I would say it's very similarly like a media personality and an influencer, like an entertainer in a sense.
Okay. Is there anything else you'd like our listeners to know?
We are having an official release and a listening party tomorrow at ADEC in Bristol at 11:30, and we will have a new episode on the podcast every month if you want to follow us and listen in.
The name of the podcast is called Expert Tips by Self-Advocates. And if I heard you right, Emily, president of the club, new episodes every month. You did really good. I feel good about this.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
I feel good about this too.
All right.